Tensions between Soviet and NATO forces have reached a dangerous new phase, following a series of naval clashes in contested waters. Over the past week, multiple incidents involving both warships and submarines have sparked fears that the Cold War's long-simmering rivalry may be approaching a breaking point. The most alarming confrontation occurred late Wednesday, when the U.S. destroyer USS John Paul Jones reported a near collision with a Soviet frigate in the Norwegian Sea. American officials claimed the Soviet vessel deliberately cut across the destroyer's path at high speed, forcing evasive maneuvers to avoid impact. The Soviet Navy in turn has accused the U.S. of reckless and provocative operations within what it calls its maritime security zone. Due to ongoing tensions, the U.S. Navy has redirected a surface action group from its Mediterranean operations to the Arctic Circle. It is a decisive show of force. In a move that further strained East-West relations, the Soviet Union has announced a series of planned ballistic missile tests in the Barents and the Pacific Ocean. This is fueling concerns within NATO about Moscow's military intentions. The tests are scheduled to take place within the next 2 weeks. They will involve both submarine-launched ballistic missiles and long-range intercontinental ballistic missiles, according to sources within U.S. intelligence. The Kremlin has framed the missile launches as part of a routine strategic readiness exercise meant to validate the Soviet Union's defensive capabilities. However, Western analysts fear the timing of the test, amid escalating naval confrontations between Soviet and NATO forces, signals a show of force rather than standard military drills. To gather as much information as possible, Operation Shadow has been planned. Intelligence indicates that the Soviet Navy's latest ballistic missile submarine, the Delta III class, is preparing to get underway. The vessel is reportedly undergoing final trials in the Sivmash shipyard. The Delta III represents the first Soviet ballistic missile submarine capable of launching MIRVed warheads, significantly enhancing Moscow's nuclear deterrent and shifting the strategic balance. The vessel is expected to begin active patrols within the next 3 months, potentially deploying to the Barents Sea and the North Atlantic bastions, where it will be heavily defended by Soviet surface combatants and attack submarines. It is May 9th, 1998. The USSR is preparing to conduct a submarine-launched missile test from a new Delta III class submarine in the Arctic Ocean. In order to gather intelligence, NATO has dispatched multiple vessels in the area to monitor and gather data from the test. USNS Kilauea, a repurposed AE class, is underway, intending to collect flight data once the missile launches. 2 Norwegian Kobben-class submarines have been ordered to covertly trail the Delta III and gather intelligence during the event. It is anticipated USSR surface forces will be present in the area to attempt to deter NATO operations. Hello everybody, Wolfpack here, and welcome back to Sea Power, Naval Combat in the Missile Age. Today we are starting the new linear campaign that has been added to Sea Power, and we are proceeding with the first mission in the campaign, Operation Shadow. We are in command of 2 Kobben-class submarines, and we are tasked with tracking and witnessing the launch of a new R-29 missile from a Delta III class submarine. Our Kobbens are operating in the area. We have S-304 here, and then we also have S-301 a little to the south. We are picking up multiple sound contacts already. There are friendly assets in the area. USNS Kilauea is up to the north somewhere, which will be recording flight telemetry of the new missile that the Soviets are about to launch. Now, if all goes to plan, we should be able to pick up the Delta III class submarine in this area. We just need to loiter for a little bit, and hopefully we'll acquire that sound contact. I am going to order S-304 up to periscope depth. Let's see if we can pick up any radar emissions with the ESM mast. There are supposedly Soviet surface assets in the area. Quickly, I want to check the range of these TP-613 torpedoes. Pretty good range. Let me go to the unit reference here and see these things. Okay, Swedish is a heavyweight wire-guided torpedo, passive sonar. Got it, okay. Works for me. We're currently going at 4 knots. Our ordered speed, full battery power, good. S-301's operating at 2 knots. Let's bring it down. All ahead 1/3. Reduce speed to 2 knots. Let's go. Info here. Oslo. Kilauea. That is the fleet auxiliary. That is friendly, I think. That should be out here unless they're saying the same thing about all these other ships. No. Okay, so this track is probably friendly if I had to guess. This track, just a merchant ship potentially. Not much of an issue. S304 is at periscope depth. Let's raise the ESM mast. See if we can pick anything up. Okay, here we go. We have emissions, a helo. Info. Yeah, probably friendly if I had to guess. Is that all we're picking up? That looks to be the case. Drop the ESM mast. Up periscope. I want to lower the snorkel. I do not want the snorkel to be up. We see anything out there? Doesn't look like it. Drop the snorkel. I'll raise the ESM mast. We'll keep it up for the time being. See if we pick up anything new. Besides the utilized radar. Oh, here we go. Multiple helos. Interesting. They could be anywhere in these bands. Don't have a good position on where they are, but these are their general headings. Okay. S301, I'd like you to drop down below the layer now, please. Let's drop ESM mast and the periscope. Okay, Ka-27. Hostile helo. Cool. We have just received a radio message here. Skipper, at time 0930 local, the USNS Kilauea. The UST AGM in the area was boarded and seized by USSR vessels shadowing her. According to high-level sources in the Kremlin, the crew attempted to stop the boarding and were killed in an exchange of gunfire. The US views this seizure as a hostile act and tantamount to a declaration of war invoking Article 5. You have been ordered to respond immediately. Eliminate all USSR surface forces. Do not damage or destroy the USNS Kilauea. Special Ops forces are en route to recapture her. Okay, fantastic. We need to sink all USSR vessels. I'm assuming that includes the Delta III class submarine. Since we are now at war, we will do that. Message acknowledged. We are not going to sink this vessel. We need to make sure we avoid shooting at track 7003. I have not picked anything else up yet. We'll see if we can find any other contacts in the area. Of course, we do know there are helos out here. Raise the ESM mast one more time. Let's see if we can pick anything up. Any radar signals? Nothing now. Really? Okay, they shut off their radars. Lower the ESM mast. Okay. All ahead of 1/3. Above the layer. Increase speed to 4 knots. Let's get moving. New noise contact detected here, moving in at 12.8 knots. S304 is going to move around here. Torpedoes are still out of range, not entirely surprising. I'm assuming this is a hostile vessel though. We need to be wary of that. S301, let's drop down below the layer, come to a complete stop, and drop down. Let's try to find this delta. We are close to the delta location. I would rather pick that up sooner rather than later. We have picked up 2 hostile vessels. One is a Kreshta 2. We have another hostile contact right behind it, and I'm assuming this third one is hostile. They're all sailing in a formation. S304 is going to attempt to engage those vessels, and we'll have S301 here still trying to pick up that delta. Let's come up above the layer now. Above the layer, please. Hostile C. Okay, Sovereign Mini. Got it. Okay, a rather competent rather competent force here. Track 7003 is the captured vessel, so we need to sink the Questy 2 and the Soeren. We need to avoid attacking track 7003. We also have this contact, which is moving into the area. Let's see. Info. Still probably just a merchant ship. Okay, got it. I am going to have the sub here drop down below the layer. We are going to switch places. Okay, what's that? Noise. Surface contact. Way out here, moving 11 knots. Probably a merchant vessel, although it's hard to tell at this point. Can't really make it out. Quite a bit of time has passed, and both of our submarines have yet to pick up the Delta III. That's going to be tricky, but we are moving in to engage the Questy 2 and the Soeren. We are in torpedo range. I am going to hold off. I'm going to see how close I can get at the moment. We are going to launch our torpedoes below the layer, and hopefully these surface vessels will not pick us up. Soeren has been identified once again. As we continue to close on in, it doesn't seem like they realize we are here, which is very good news. I am worried about hitting our vessel here. We got to avoid doing that if at all possible. I'm going to wait till both subs are in range, however. Our TP-613 torpedoes have pretty good range, but I want to make sure it is essentially a confirmed kill. I also want this merchant vessel to pass us before we start blasting. The problem is, once we start shooting our torpedoes, I have a feeling that Delta III is going to fire back at us. And I'd like to avoid getting sunk. We've just picked up another hostile warship here. There's at least 3 warships. I'm wondering if there's another one here. And it's very possible. We are not picking it up, though. Still no sign of the Delta III. I'm debating firing. What's our range? 3 nautical miles out. These guys are well in range. Fire one. We're going to shoot 1 torpedo. Okay, shoot 1 torpedo at the Soeren. Shoot 1 torpedo at track 70015. There we go, torpedo away. 3 torpedoes out. We are going to drop both submarines below the layer now. Both submarines have now dropped below the layer. Surface contacts are fading. This torpedo is 1.76 nautical miles out from the Soeren. Probably closer than that at this point. It's moving at 40 knots. I don't think they are escaping these. 1 torpedo, 1 ship. That's got to cripple each of these ships, I would think. And we can follow up after that once we've gotten our hits. Active sonar starting to pierce through the water. The reds are on alert. Okay, we hit something. Track 7013 has been hit. The Questy 2 has just eaten a torpedo. Looks like they fired something in response. We are going to see where those splash down. Okay, let's change course. All ahead standard. Fire 1 more torpedo at that Questy. Actually, never mind, send it. Too late, we're firing it. Looks like 2 torpedoes are potentially heading for the Soeren. Okay, we're gonna get moving here. Let's see, what are these torpedoes up to? Don't think they've acquired anything just yet. We are going to stay below the layer, I am not coming up. We only have 10 noisemakers, so our best defense is to stay completely undetected. Losing contact. Okay, this torpedo has turned. It's heading towards something. Come on. It's searching. It's searching for something. Both torpedoes are searching. As long as they don't hit our vessel, then I'll be happy. The Questy 2 fired a couple of Silexes. Oh, she does not look good. Hostile torpedoes in the water. Okay, way to the south of our position. Good stuff. Yeah, this Questy is not looking good. Look at her list to port. Okay, we're picking up another AT-2 torpedo circling down south of our position. Good. They don't know where we are. We'll see if our torpedoes end up finding their targets here. Another sonar contact torpedo way down to the south. Okay, let's pop up above the layer. I think firing these torpedoes so deep has caused issues. They're not popping up towards the surface. Let's come up and see if we can pick anything up here. Get ready to fire more torpedoes. This torpedo, it is rising up. It looks like it has acquired, hopefully, the Questy. Yeah, this looks good here. 60 feet. Hopefully it hits what I want. Impact. Whoa, jeez. Okay. Torpedoes in the water. Set 65 torpedoes fired off in this direction. Got it. Okay. Can we pick up some of these noise contacts? What is this? Info. Having a tough time picking up what's what. This torpedo is heading south after that contact. There's a lot going on now. Not picking everything up. It's too much noise. Okay, Questy 2 is in fact sinking. There we go. We managed to hit her. Hostile warship has been detected. Track 7019. Okay. Hopefully, this track is not our friend. This torpedo is tracking too. Good. Looking at what our torpedoes are tracking, one is going after the Sovereign Mini. We are going to fire another torpedo. Shoot one more torpedo at that Sovereign Mini. Okay, good. And it's not going towards the, exactly towards this. There we go. Target the Sovereign Mini, please. Fantastic. I want to make sure this is not. Okay, Utiloi, Slava. Okay, this is in fact hostile. So continue to engage that. Torpedoes are being wire guided in. Okay, this one's looking good. I don't know. What's this? Info. Okay, this is our friend. We are not going to blast that. We have two torpedoes heading towards the Sovereign Mini. Still no sign of a Delta 3. Okay, this torpedo hopefully is still tracking. Here, you come up above the layer now. Okay, we've reacquired. Torpedo's climbing. Hostile contact is 0.13 nautical miles out. We got her. This Sovereign Mini's toast as well. They're dropping noisemakers in the water. I thought those were RBUs for a second. They can defensively fire and try to blow up our torpedo as it's en route. Doesn't look like they are able to do that at this point in time. We are going to hit whatever this is, though. A Eutiloi. So there was a fourth contact. Probably on the port flank of the task force. Got it. Impact on that contact. Good. Sovereign Mini time. How far are the torpedoes? They're closing in. The Sovereign Mini's booking it at 30 knots, so it'll be a little harder for them to catch up. One of our torpedoes is nearing the impact point. It's about to slam into this Sovereign Mini if all goes to plan here. And that'll leave us really just with a Delta 3. Wow. That was brutal. You can see a massive hole in the side of the ship here. We have a second torpedo that's going to follow up. Her screws are still turning. Second torpedo is closing in. This contact, this Eutiloi. Oh man, she doesn't look good either. Taking on some serious water in the stern. Okay, we hit the track again. Good, another hit. And that ought to do it for this contact. That's going to be a serious amount of water that they have to deal with. Lots of torpedoes still in the water that we need to avoid. Debating firing another. Let's shoot one more torpedo at the Eutiloi. I want to make sure they sink. I don't want to give them a chance to conduct repairs. And then we need to find this Delta. The Sovereign Mini is going down. 2 torpedoes was enough to sink it.
Contact faded. Track 7016.
The Eutiloi is making a run for it. She's already eaten 1 fish. A second torpedo is now inbound. They are dropping noisemakers in the water. The torpedo is being wire guided into the stern of the Eutiloi. Should hit in a matter of seconds. And that'll be the last Soviet surface ship, I believe, that we need to destroy. They clearly did not anticipate 2 Cobbins laying in wait for them here. Again, I am surprised the Delta has not taken advantage of this situation, though, and attempted to fire upon us. Mildly concerning. Okay, another noisemaker is getting thrown out. We have just received a radio message. Good work, Commander. Fall back towards the GIUK gap and await further orders. Your mission to shadow the Delta 3 is scrubbed. Prepare your crew and boat for all-out hostilities with the Warsaw Pact. Okay, there we go. That is the end of the mission. I guess we don't have to track that Delta 3 down after all. Let's exit the mission. Here we can see it was a decisive victory. Both of our submarines were undamaged. We destroyed 3 Soviet vessels in the battle. Well, folks, that is going to do it for today's video. I do hope you all enjoyed it. If you did, please be sure to leave a like and comment, as it really does help out the channel, especially on the first video of a brand new series such as this one. Anyway, folks, that's all for this one. This is Wolfpack345 signing off, and I'll see you all on the next one.